Good afternoon, Joyful Geniuses. Andrew Horder here, founder of Joyful Genius Coaching. Last decade or so, I've been helping solo practitioners to find their unique genius and to take it out there into the world in a way that they can make some money out of it. This week, I want to talk about one of the things that, one of the sayings that really does get my goat, which is just do what comes naturally. And frankly, I think that's a load of old cobblers. I don't think just doing what comes naturally is going to help you to live your joyful genius. And let me explain why. But first off, I want to explain what got me onto thinking about that this week. Earlier this week, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, I was listening to the Chris Evans radio show, as I do in the morning. I love Chris's stuff. He's come on so far since his days on, TGI Friday. He's really a thoughtful guy now. And one of the things that he talks about a lot is something that I also talk about a lot, is the difference between reacting or responding to the circumstances that come up in our lives, and how much better it is to respond. And he was talking about that morning, and one of the things that he said that really caught my attention was that wisdom is what happens in the gap between the stimulus and the response. And it's that pause to think and to choose how you're going to respond. That's where the wisdom lies. That really struck home for me. So that's, I started then thinking about what I'm going to talk about this week. You see, to me, we've got that choice about how we react or respond to the things that come up in our lives. And yeah, I absolutely do say that we want that to be something that's natural to you. And doing what comes naturally has got two elements to it. It's got the instinctive part and it's got the intuitive part. Now, the instinctive part, that's the bit that comes from instinct, natural instinct, yeah? And it's coming from the reptilian brain, the amygdala. It's coming from, if I don't do this, I'm going to get eaten by a tiger, a saber-toothed tiger, or got stomped on by a mammoth, or whatever it is used to happen to our ancestors millennia ago. And that's the react. It's all about safety. Do again what you did last time that didn't get you killed. Yeah, do again what you did last time that didn't put you in danger. And that's worked for millennia. And it's great for keeping you safe, but it's also fantastic for keeping you what one of my mentors calls normal, average, real, and the same as everybody else. Well, of course, that is not you in your genius, is it? The other side of it is the intuitive side. The bit that, if you like, is coming from your higher self. It's coming from genius. And that's not so much about safety as about expansion of you as a being, expansion of you and your impact on the world. It's about fulfilling your promise, fulfilling your destiny, your potential, so that you can be all you can be on the earth, make all the difference you're here to make. And the difference, as Chris says and as I say, is whether or not you make time to really allow your intuition to come up. Another of my mentors talks about leaning into your intuition and giving it time to come up from that place of innocence that's uncluttered by all the way you're supposed to behave. So it's really a kind of mindfulness. It's making a mindful, conscious choice about how you will respond to the situation that's come up in your life. I like to talk about it as where the instinctive side is react, do the same thing again. This is rest and ponder, respond. So you rest a moment, give it some thought, give time for intuition to come through, and then take the action that is going to move you forward. You see, when you're doing the reaction piece, that's coming from the human part of you. That's the biological human that's got to keep itself safe. That's the amygdala kicking in. The higher self, what's coming from spirit, from genius, from grace, whatever it is you want to call that, God, if that's your thing, that comes more from the intuitive side. We talk about base instinct, don't we? So that reaction is coming from the base side of you. The response is coming from the genius, from the higher side of you. One of the challenges that we have when it comes to living your genius is, of course, there's a conflict very often between those two. The fast thought, the thought, I've got to do something, something's happened, I must react. If that's coming from the unconscious mind and it's coming from the amygdala, which is prompting you to action that is going to be reaction and possibly not the right action. But you've got the conflict when you're in that conscious space, in that space of innocence, of your intuition saying, actually there's probably a better way to be here. So one side you're getting pulled towards the instinctive reaction, on the other side you're getting drawn towards the intuitive response. And that can create an awful lot of confusion and conflict in you. And that tends to be when I find people who've kind of lost their mojo and they're feeling all a little bit confused about what it is they're supposed to be doing in the world. And those are the people I love working with. Particularly coaches and consultants, but anybody who feels like they've lost their place in the world, those are the people who I can really help. Now, you'll know if you've watched a lot of these that I've got a little video. I call it my mojo video because it's for people who've lost their mojo. And I can show you through this how you can find your mojo. So it's at www.joyful-genius.com/mojo. And at the end of that video, there's an invitation to jump on a call with me. Quick 15-minute call, just to see if there's anything that I can do to help you get back on track and to be making those choices that are responses coming from your intuition, from your higher self, instead of reacting all the time. I hope that's been helpful. Until next week, keep up the great work.